Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into this show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and a fully loaded agenda for you today. We have a few cards going away. Chase and Disney have a new card officially out that was rumored last week. Don't worry, we'll still find a way to talk about Bilt 2.0 once again, and we will close with some Capital One updates with that Discover merger, how it's all playing out, and of course, a bank after my own heart being Bank of America. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, that lead off with some quick hits here, more for awareness if anybody has these. So the first one we'll put up, this is from eBay in Synchrony, and that is to let you know that the eBay Extras MasterCard is going away. So again, don't be confused. There are two eBay credit cards. Again, there's a picture. This is the black one. There's also the blue one. The blue one is still staying. That one's the one that gives you 3% back on eBay. This one, again, the things to know here is that your account will be closed out March 25th of this year. So you've got, a month or so, give or take, to use it. Now, as far as your points balances, if you have some, you can continue to use your card if you want, but points and there we go. Earn reward points and redeem them at PayPal when you reach the 600 point threshold until the program ends, so you can keep doing it. This is the paragraph I wanted. And again, you remember to redeem earned reward points by the 24th of March, of course, by logging in. Any reward points over the 600 point redemption threshold that have not been redeemed will be converted to a gift card at a rate of $5 for every 600 points. And there you go. So you will get your points out if you don't use them. Again, I don't think this is that going to be impactful to that many people, but eBay is a big platform, so just be aware of that. Remember, eBay Extras MasterCard, not the blue eBay card, the other one. I forget who issues that one. Now, continuing on with our streak of products being sunset, we go over to Target Circle, but don't worry, it's not the credit card or the debit card. It is the reloadable card. So again, key details here, March 4th, 26 is the last day to add funds to your card. Of course, I don't know why you would if it's going away. So I would just not add funds anymore, but you can add funds to your account, and including March 4th. After that day, you'll no longer be able to load funds to your account. So I would just stop because it's going away. Don't load funds. Now, this could affect a handful of degenerates out there, because if you remember, a while back, Target used to offer like these $40 coupons if you signed up for the credit card, the debit card, and the reloadable card. And in the good old days, you could do multiples of them. I think they since cracked down on that, and you could only do one, and they put some churning rules in there. So there could be someone still using the reloadable card. I don't know. This isn't really that big of a deal, considering the debit card is honestly the answer with Target, because it doesn't really count as a credit pull or a 524 slot. It's effectively the same thing, 5% off at Target. So there you go. Again, I don't know why they tell you. I don't reload your card. It's over, right? It's over. Now, quick hits aside, let's go continue our streak of talking about Bilt 2.0. We have some more details this time coming out about the intro offer. So if you remember, we had almost two separate intro offers. Like everyone else who had went to the Bilt event and was pushing their links had one offer, but TPG, being the flagship of credit card marketing, had a special offer, and that was the link to use. But it looks like there's been some issues getting that to attach to accounts, and also with understanding when that actually goes into effect, because again, why would they make something simple that's been around for tons of years, which is intro offer? So if we put this up here, this is kind of an aggregated post the good doctors put together. So basically what had happened was there was initially issues getting the offer to attach to some cards or some accounts, because not everyone was instantly approved. As we talked about last week, it seemed like if you were on Bilt 1.0, it would just be a soft pull, so the lender could just do their due diligence as they're required to do, but swap in good enough. Was not the case. They're since sorting that out. You should be getting approved, but if you went through TPG's link, or even if you were a brand new account, that's probably what this mostly affects. If you went through TPG's link as a new account, couldn't really get it attached, especially if you weren't instantly approved. Furthermore, this is the interesting part. They do have a reminder here that the new cards and the 5x multiplier go live on February 7th, which I guess actually isn't that helpful because I'm taping this on February 7th. Well, it's helpful because it lasts for a little bit. And to clarify, it's 5x total points per dollar, not 5x additional points per dollar. TPG reports that all those who are eligible for the 5x TPG offer will get an email confirmation on February 6th, letting them know. So there you go. I mean, when we talked about this, I guess it does last for 5 days, so I guess I am reminding you in time after all. It's just a really convoluted way to do an intro offer. I also think it was really bad faith, bad business to invite all those people out there, have them grifting for your terrible product, but then not even give them the best offer to grift with. Like, that was a bit much. It's like, so you've got a bunch of people pushing links, but TPG had the best one, which is fair game. If you want to give TPG the best one, I mean, he's going to move the needle the most for the most applications, to be sure, but then have the intro offer last for 5 days is a bit much. But I guess if the new cards are out in your hand by then I think it makes sense. If not, then you're kind of limited to the digital only card, which would be limiting, which is probably their point. So I don't know. I mean, why would anything be simple with these guys? I'm sure it will be something else next week. And that's really the thing. We can offer you some grace and understand that. I mean, I've been a part of plenty of product launches, nothing cool that you guys would care about, but plenty of product launches, and something always goes wrong, and it's generally fine because we know you don't know what you don't know type thing. But when everything goes wrong, I mean, come on, guys. Now you've lost all of your grace, I would say. So someone else, though, moving on, who could have a new card or an updated card coming out and is a veteran of this game, at least, is American Airlines. They're sending out a survey, and you know how we love to overreact to surveys. This time about one of their business cards. So again, Doc grabbed this. I don't know, View from the Wing grabbed this. Sorry, View from the Wing, credit to View from the Wing. So this would be for the American Airlines Business Advantage Business World Elite Mastercard. It's always a mouthful. I wish they would propose shorter names in some of these cards surveys. So what do they want to do? They want to bump up the annual fee from $99 to $150. Don't you worry though, credit's incoming. $100 credit towards in-flight purchases, $100 in-kind dining credit, complimentary Walmart Plus, $120 global entry or TSA pre, $125 American Airlines flight discount certificate after $30,000 in spend. That would replace the companion certificate. Flight streak bonus, earned 4,000 loyalty points after a primary or authorized user takes 4 qualifying American Airlines flights. That one's probably not that bad. It should be easy to do. I don't love these changes. I don't hear any additional multipliers or earnings, but again, we know the time we're in by now, that these banks really aren't going to throw anything else, what I'm going to say, of material to get you to spend the card, use the card, but they want you to use the card. So it really becomes how much do you value these things? The in-flight purchase thing is going to be hit or miss. I'm going to guess upgrades do not count, and that's what the vast majority of people are going to want. You see people buying stuff on the plane, like who is doing this? Like, it's not even good. Like, why are you doing that? But whatever. So I don't see too much here. I would guess for sure that the annual fee is going to increase. They only ever go up, and plus, you're American, you can still play catch up to the other airlines. Why not move yours up? So, I mean, you let me know if you think these are valuable or not. I don't think they are, but I'm not supposed to, and neither are you, because again, as we can see, one's a business card, so, they aim it at real businesses. They want real spend, so not too much to be surprised there. Now, that wasn't super magical, but if you want something that is super magical, well, you might want to go to Disney World or Land. I hear there's 2 of them, even more on other continents. If you want to do that, well, then you could potentially do it through a credit card. We have the Disney Inspire card. It was teased out last week. It is official now. So when you take a look at this, we have the Disney Inspire Visa card clocking in at $150 annual fee. Your multipliers here are going to be 10% back on DisneyPlus.com, Hulu.com, or ESPN.com. I think that's for like the streaming deal. 3% back at gas stations and most U.S. Disney locations. Why would it not be all U.S. Disney locations? Maybe they're trying to guard against like those knockoff ones. I'm not really sure there. 2% back at grocery stores and restaurants, 1% back on everything else. Your benefits and coupons section, $10 monthly credit for Disney Plus, Hulu, or ESPN, 0% APR for 6 months on select Disney vacation packages, $200 Disney rewards dollars after spending $2,000 per anniversary year on Disney Resort and Disney Cruise Line bookings. That's probably not hard to do, I would imagine. And then a $100 Disney theme park ticket credit after spending $200 per anniversary year on Disney theme park tickets. Also probably not hard to do. Intro offer, $300 Disney e-gift card at approval, which is a nice touch, and then $300 statement credit after $1,000 in spend within the first 3 months. Overall, I mean, I can see if you're going to Disney once, twice a year, and as we've learned in the comments last time, there are quite a few Disney adults out there. And I just mentioned 2 of them, and a lot of you just came up and took those poor people's shout out for yourselves, you shameful people. But that's fine. You didn't know who I was talking about. So to the Disney adults, I mean, yeah, for the price tag, I would like to see it just give you one of those streaming channels. I would assume they would have all been bundled, but I don't mess with the streaming too much. For $150, I think you can throw me Disney Plus, Hulu, or and ESPN, not just a $10 credit to those. But again, I always want stuff for free. Makes it easier than dealing with coupons, I would say. The rest of it, I mean, yeah, there's a decent amount of stuff there, and if you continue using it, you can get your money back for sure. I would simply say that, you probably still be better off covering your hotel and your flight through regular travel cards. I mean, probably not the AA card we just talked about, but other cards, earning those kind of points currencies, staying at the hotel for free, flying for free, or at least reduced cost versus this. But again, this is not going to be aimed at anyone who's even thinking about that, just people who want to go and see Disney. They do have some decent card designs as well. The Star Wars one with Darth Vader on it is probably the best one. So you can choose. There's also a few more options you get for just the $150 card if that's a needle mover for you. Now, if you don't like Chase and you don't like Disney Visa, you might like Capital One or Discover. So lucky for you, Capital One is going to keep MasterCard on their cards. If we take a look at this came out in an earnings call. I'll put up the quote for you. But in the U.S. and Canada, this is the CEO, the Capital One boss talking. In the U.S. and Canada, we extended our long-standing partnership with Capital One, where we renewed. Oh, this is I said the wrong word. This is the MasterCard guy talking. In the U.S. and Canada, we extended our long-lasting partnership with Capital One, where we renewed our partnership and credit, and we will be the network for a large portion of newly acquired credit accounts. And across their business, Capital One will continue to use several of MasterCard services. Who talks like that? So it sounds like they're keeping the cards that are with MasterCard will be staying with MasterCard on the credit side, not the debit side. They did call that out. And to the newly acquired products as well. He said newly acquired accounts, which I don't know, does that mean, Discover being its own network where they take the Discover cards and put them on Capital One? That seems like a lot of effort and headache for nothing, for no real change, honestly, because again, I understand they're not taken everywhere overseas, but I don't know who's going overseas with the Discover card. I know they have the Miles card, but really, I don't think it was doing that. When he says new accounts, new acquired accounts, I think that's what my mind goes to. I mean, so 2 things come to mind here. One, I don't know if this is true or not. I think I read it. You never know what's true or not on the internet. The Capital One could have just used having Discover Payment Network in their pocket as a negotiating tool and gotten significantly better rates from MasterCard. That's a possibility. So it just made more sense to stick with MasterCard than to spin up a whole initiative to move everything over to Discover. It's not the easiest thing to do. Plus, we don't know if Discover is scaled enough to support all those accounts, right? Since Discover only runs its own accounts, which I don't think are that many relative to MasterCard, running many programs, right? It's what they do. The other thing could have been they simply weren't ready yet to make the change. Again, back to product launches, you would be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be surprised how many times I've been a part of one. They're like, hey, we're ready to go. Oh, wait a minute. Did we cancel that other contract because we're not quite ready yet? Hey, Mr. Vendor, could you extend this a little bit? Happens way more than you think. So I could see either one of those being the scenario. To me, unless you got a really sweetheart deal, given how many co-branded cards MasterCard has, cards that we don't even think about or care about, that makes no real difference if it's on Capital or if it's on MasterCard or Discover, those would be the ones I would think would get moved over eventually, but because sweetheart deal's a sweetheart deal. Now the Venture X and things like that, the travel ones, I can see staying with Cap or MasterCard, even though Yeah, well, the Venture X is Visa, but anyways, you get my point. So, all right, we're good there. What else? Capital One's not done yet. If you're holding a Discover savings account, well, that will turn into a Capital One account. Here is your notice. This lady is super happy. If you don't know why we care about happy people, it's because we talk about them on the second channel, Run on the Bank, the promotional material, and we especially like it when the happy person is a young lady. We can appreciate that just a little bit more. So Discover is part of Capital One. In case you didn't know, your Discover savings account is becoming a Capital One savings account. There you go, Capital One. Their performance savings got 3.3% APY right now. It's the same exact rate that's offered at Discover, I believe. Like Discover usually does go a little bit higher from what I'm seeing. So you really don't have to do anything. The little blue box tells you we'll set up the Capital One performance savings for you. Savings account with direct deposit, past statements, and other account settings just coming all over. When it's time, we'll be in touch about your bank. Some stuff might change, but I don't think it'll be too bad. So there you go. Hopefully that young lady pressed subscribe as well. The only real downside here is that, that Discover savings bonus that everyone loved is probably dead now. I'm sure it's dead now, but it's been around so long that if you haven't hit it yet, I don't know if you're ever going to get around to it. It was also like once per lifetime, so we do lose a promotional offer, but again, no real loss there considering the restrictions on that. Now, something we hope doesn't get restricted, maybe getting expanded in our closing story, is Bank of America. Bank of America been in the news and definitely top of my mind because we know they're going to have some changes to their preferred reward system come May. That's their relationship banking system. They basically give me more money and I'll give you better benefits. So there was a Bloomberg article that had a few points on it that we took from the doctor here. So I'll put it up for you. But basically the deal is they're interested in getting benefits for their higher account balance customers. And not like credit balance, but like higher net worth, more assets with the bank. So Bank of America wants to increase annual profit of the consumer unit to $20 billion by the end of the decade. That would double it. And Holly O'Neill, head of Bank of America's consumer business, card is a big piece of this growth as we move forward and get more targeted with our outreach. So if we take those two claims, well, obviously preferred rewards, they have it on the business side, but again, they want to bolster the consumer side. Makes sense. They want to double it, as I've been told by someone who would know, not about what's happening, but that preferred rewards is a big way they bring in customers at their branches, or as they call them, financial centers. So if you want to increase it, I don't necessarily know that you can slash the rates of folks because that would not go well. I mean, it takes a lot to get people to switch, but it makes me feel like they're not going to necessarily decrease it. And the headline of I want to focus on my higher net worth folks is they don't want the poors, right? They want the people with the money. So, and that's really the problem. The reason we always talk about platinum honors is because at 100,000, that's where it's at, right? That's the sweet spot. It goes to $1 million, I think $1 million plus at diamond and diamond honors, but there's not really anything there that would interest us, and even most people at some point, because I don't think there's a differentiator that you're not getting a Chase private client, a private bank, or whatever city has one too as well. So it seems like they want to get cards in folks' hands, so I do think they'll have to bolster up the top end, right? What does diamond get? I don't also, do people with that much money care? But at the same time, $1 million isn't really that hard to do, which I know is off-putting to some of you, but most people are doing this through retirement accounts and brokerages accounts. And if you've been working long enough and like doing what you should be, maxing it out, and you had a decent company match for all those years at your different stops, you could be at $1 million by the time you're late 40s, early 50s, I would guess. And that's probably doing nothing but just doing index funds. And as you throw your own brokerage over there as well, which is probably what they're looking to do, steal other people's brokerage accounts from other places, move it over to get them over these higher tiers. Again, I also think they'll do something at the lower end. So, I mean, given this, if you want to grow your consumer business, I just don't know if you want to upset the people in the middle. But I do think you might want to try to incentivize them to come up, right? Because once you get to 100,000, like I did consider starting throwing money in Robinhood simply for their IRA match, or look, someplace else with the match, right? Where Bank of America doesn't have a match. So once you get to 100,000 with Bank of America, there's not really a reason to go any higher. So maybe it could be they think folks are holding out on them, which is potentially true. So anyways, there you go. A little bit of news there. I still think we'll be okay, but I do think I'm just curious to see what they want to do for the higher net worth people and what actually moves the needle for those guys and what would get you to come over. And honestly, I don't know if it's really just credit card related, because again, they have a wide range of products. I also wonder if they'll take a look at, if I want to double the business, I can't have everyone in self-managed, right? Like that's another thing. Even if I bring you over at $1 million account, if you're $1 million self-managed, it doesn't really do anything for me, right? It does a little bit, but like not what it could do if you were in managed services, which is really what they want. So, I will keep an eye on this one for sure, for me and like the 4 other people who care about Bank of America, but hey, you got to have a story for yourself in there every so often, right? It's either going to be this or Apple. So anyways, guys, that has been the news for the week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, as we're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com, which is, of course, the channel's blog. It's always linked down below for you and on the channel homepage. Over there, we post the latest news stories, plenty more bank promotions. I know we have some from Bank of America if you want to get on the action now, and of course we have a few credit card offers as well. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon this week.